But people leaving the Congress party is only half the trouble that Rahul Gandhi has to deal with right now. Times Now has conducted a series of stings on prominent members of Rahul's closest allies, and we have discovered that leaders who should be fighting shoulder to shoulder have come out with daggers drawn out, ready to strike behind Congress's back. In fact, Times Now also conducted a sting on the Congress ally in Maharashtra, the NCP. The spokesperson of the party told us that the NCP took its cues from Sharad Pawar, who is not entirely dependable.
But you feel Congress alliance won't help you all much?
मुझे नहीं लगता. I don't think so. कभी भी नहीं, ऐसे होता नहीं है. जनरली हमने देखा है. कांग्रेस वाले इनको हेल्प.
इनके मन में क्या हो रहा है?
अपने अपने बलबूते पे निकालो. इनके मन में क्या चल रहा है वो तो लास्ट एंड तक किसी को पता नहीं चलता. आज पता नहीं प्रेस में आज बहुत कुछ कहा है साहब ने.
और कोई चांस है आपका इलेक्शन रिजल्ट आने के बाद कि
कुछ नहीं कहा जा सकता.
वो पॉसिबिलिटी है ना कि वो बीजेपी के साथ जा सकता है?
नहीं, कुछ नहीं कहा जा सकता. मैं फिर कह रही हूँ ये एकदम हमारा तो अनप्रेडिक्टेबल है. कुछ नहीं कहा जा सकता. कब क्या कैसे होगा डोंट नो एट ऑल. अभी हमारी लोकसभा की सीट कितनी आती है उसके ऊपर सारा डिपेंड है. ये वंचित आघाड़ी वाले भी अगर ये मन से हुए तो ठीक है.
मन से तो बोल रहे हैं हम लोग.
मन से हुए तो मतलब कि ऐसी बहुत सारी गर्दी जमा कर देते हैं, वोटिंग में कन्वर्जन नहीं होता.
In fact, so clearly troubles mounting for the Congress party now. The sting operation was conducted on NCP spokesperson Chitra Wagh, who came out and said that the final decision clearly will be taken by Sharad Pawar. She also said that Pawar is not a dependable Congress ally. Times Now's Megha Prasad is joining us live on the broadcast. Megha, isn't this what we have been discussing over the past couple of months? How, on the face of it, all the top political leaders from the opposition try and seem to and look together, but within inside there is so much of internal bickering that nobody is actually sure whether they will actually be going along with the Congress post-elections or, for that matter, even pre-elections. Coming to your question just a bit, Aditi, but the part that we put out of Chitra Wagh, the spokesperson of the NCP, she talking about Sharad Pawar, I think perhaps is one of the most apt description of who Sharad Pawar as a leader is. And mind you, he's somebody who's being seen as the top 2 or 3 leaders within the so-called Mahagathbandhan, which still has not taken shape as a possible prime minister contender. And this is what you hear about him from one of his own party members. Chitra Wagh is a prominent face of the NCP. And for her to admit this, of course she didn't know that the cameras are rolling, but for her to admit that it is absolutely unpredictable with Mr. Sharad Pawar till the very end, you don't know what's going on in his mind, and doesn't rule out the fact that there could be a possibility where Mr. Sharad Pawar could actually quit the the association with the Congress here and perhaps go towards joining hands with the BJP. Now let's just take you a little in the backdrop of it, of course, Aditi, is this that Mr. Sharad Pawar in the NCP in 2014 had warmed up to the BJP quite a great deal. In fact, there were a lot of talks about NCP joining hands with the BJP and becoming an alliance partner back then, though it didn't happen. But then here is Mr. Sharad Pawar, who's actually really unpredictable, and that is what her own party member, his own party member, is saying this, on camera. Now, for us to understand, when you're talking about the Mahagathbandhan, of course, this Mahagathbandhan is a crowd of different political parties who do not see eye to eye in various different states. I mean, they might come together at the national level, but in states they are fighting with each other. There are situations where they are fighting in the state and then might want to, come together at this level. So all of those differences still remain. Not much has been done to remove those differences. They haven't really come together in the real sense of the term. And yet, of course, the opposition would want to portray a picture that they are all united, wanting to take on Narendra Modi, but the reality is much different. And probably, Megha, this also shows how top leaders like Sharad Pawar, who is much senior in his experience in politics as compared to Rahul Gandhi, how they actually do not really trust Rahul Gandhi as a figure who is at least attempting to lead the so-called united opposition.